Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Creative Differences podcast. I'm Gabby.
I'm Colin.
Dallas.
Hey guys, I'm going to be joining you guys for today. I'm Demi.
Woo!
Today we're going to be talking about, we're going to be giving our reactions to Comic-Con movie news. It's going to be the first part of this.
All them movies.
We will be talking about TV shows. That'll be a separate episode because we're probably going to be talking for a long time because, you know, there's a lot of news and we have a lot of thoughts.
And we live for this.
There's too much stuff, guys.
Dude, and what's crazy is I feel like this year wasn't even that much stuff.
That's the thing is I've been seeing
wasn't.
half of the articles I've been seeing have been like, wow, there was so much stuff. And the other half has been, wow, there was not as much stuff as people
I feel
were
like
expecting.
there wasn't as much stuff that people were like genuinely excited and looking forward to.
Yeah, we didn't get our big, like, our usual big time movies. We didn't get a lot of big time movie panels. We got a lot of TV, not a lot of movies.
Yeah. And I think that was the difference, especially since the MCU is basically over. Like, what everybody was looking forward to last year was the MCU.
The MCU is definitely not anywhere near
No,
over.
I know. But what I'm saying is we knew what we were looking forward to, so there was a lot more hype.
Well, but also, like, WB dropped out, so there was no DC news.
Oh,
Right.
that's
'cause
also
last time
it.
They had
Yeah.
Titans, they had Shazam, they had
Yeah.
Young Justice.
Yeah.
DC dropped out, so there was nothing. WB dropped out altogether, which means anything WB related, which means we're not going to get there wasn't a Kong versus Godzilla panel.
Right, because
Oh,
last
there we
time there
go.
was a trailer for Godzilla King
Yeah.
of the Monsters.
Do we
Like,
know
WB had a lot
why
of stuff.
they dropped
They just
out?
dropped out. I don't know why.
Damn.
It was tired, I don't know.
But yeah, so let's get to it though, because there's a lot to discuss.
So much.
There's still a lot to discuss. There's not as much as usual, but there is still a lot. So I think we're going to start with Terminator Dark Fate, the 6th movie in the Terminator franchise, but
Wow.
technically number 3
Oh boy.
in order, in chronological order.
Franchises. Why do they do this? It's
Well,
confusing.
it's because, so the reason that this is because 1 and 2 are great.
Right.
3 and 4 are okay.
Uh-huh.
Most people hate 5.
Yeah.
I
Which
like
one was
5,
that
but
one?
5 was the one with Amelia Clark.
Genesis?
Yes.
Right.
I like 5.
I
And then,
liked her
I like her, yeah.
and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And that's about it.
And then the plot can eat a dick.
Whatever. I can take it or leave it. But the point...
One question.
Yes.
How?
Colin,
How?
I'll tell you later.
Just think
It's
about that.
complicated.
Yeah,
It's
that's it.
complicated.
It's a plot, though.
Go ahead, Demi.
So anyway, the reason why is because those were so poorly received. And also because James Cameron was not involved with any of the other 3. He was only involved with the first 2.
Right.
So because he is involved with
Got it.
Dark Fate, he's like, nah, bruh, this
Yeah.
is the 3rd movie.
I trust this one more.
It's really funny to me when, like, the franchise kind of starts to decline, then they'll just be like, you know what?
Let's bring back the
Because other 2
dude.
just didn't happen. Because they did the same thing with
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah.
kind of X-Men, like...
Which also Halloween is getting 2 movies. We have no responses to that because there's not much else to say except that they're getting 2 new movies.
So it's just like
afterwards.
they made a new Halloween, so now there's going to be another Halloween 2, which is like the 3rd Halloween 2. It's confusing. But then the
They're
X-Men
just
was
like,
you
we're
know
just
what?
going to throw it all out.
None of that happened.
Yeah, but
Dark Phoenix.
yeah,
Dark Phoenix.
but Terminator. I'm a huge Terminator fan. I've seen every Terminator film. The moment that they announced that James Cameron was coming back for this film, I got super excited because I was like, oh my gosh, it's like.
Yeah.
It feels like, I don't want to say it's like real Terminator, but
Yeah.
like it's
Right.
Terminator.
It's real Terminator.
Like it's going to be Terminator.
It's like when, even though I hate
We're
Fast
giving
and
it
the Furious,
back to the fans.
it's like when Vin Diesel came back to the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
movies.
exactly. Same thing. But like, yeah, I love the Terminator franchise, and then on top of that, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's coming back, but he typically always comes back because he feels like this movie. He said it at Comic-Con. This movie started off his career, so he feels like he always has to come back.
Also, like, what else is he doing? Like,
Other
well,
movies,
The Expendables.
And then also, but the most important thing was that Linda Hamilton is coming back.
Yes, Queen.
The original Sarah Connor.
Oh my God.
The best Sarah Connor.
I love her.
And then it was announced at Comic-Con that Ed Furlong is also coming back to the Terminator franchise. He is John Connor from T2.
Ooh.
They have him coming back as John Connor, and that's amazing. And then also we get the introduction to Mackenzie Davis's character, Diego
Who's
Boneta,
freaking awesome.
Gabriel Luna,
Who's also
and
awesome.
Natalia Reyes.
I don't know anything about Natalia Reyes.
Basically, what we got from Khan was that Reyes' character seems to have a very similar experience to young Sarah Connor.
Got it.
Goes to work one day, and all of a sudden, there's a Terminator after her. So it seems like Sarah and Mackenzie Davis's character are coming to protect her.
Okay.
And Tim Miller, the director of the film, who did Deadpool was his
The
first
first
big
Deadpool.
film. He said that while working on post-production for Deadpool, the producer of Terminator was like, hey, man, you want to make a Terminator film? And he was like,
Yeah, sign me
sure.
up.
That's dope.
Which
Why not?
we would all do.
Yeah, so, but according to him, this movie is going to deal a lot with the consequences of Sarah Connor's actions in Terminator 2. and it's supposed to deal a lot with character, emotion, character. They were very, very big on emphasizing how much character.
Because that's what makes a movie good. I mean, action is
That's
fun.
also what was said on the panel. They were like, it doesn't mean anything if the characters aren't good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, like, John Wick 3 was
like-
great. But John Wick 1 is my favorite of the John
That's
Wicks
funny, 'cause
because
John Wick-
it's about character.
That's funny because I think John Wick 3 is more about character than John Wick 1.
What?
Question
He has more of an
for clarification.
internal struggle.
Has Terminator gotten a trailer or just a teaser?
Teaser, and then we got from Comic-Con, we got a behind the scenes footage.
That
type of
teaser's
thing.
long, though.
Okay,
it's like
cool.
2
Right,
minutes
like
long.
that's
That's a
whole
legit
trailer.
trailer.
Yeah, it's basically
Except it's
a trailer.
not, though, because I
mean,
was going to ask, like, if you're going to say the focus is on character, why wouldn't you put that in the trailer? But if it's just a teaser, then no, you just want to
Yeah,
show
the
the
teaser
explosion.
was
It's
straight
a
up just
teaser, it's just
action.
long though.
Yeah.
Tim Miller said that this one is definitely going to be rated R, and to ensure that it was going to be rated R no matter what, he had Linda Hamilton say "fuck" as
as
often
much as possible. Yes.
All right. That's the way to do it.
But yeah, the Comic-Con also seemed like while they were there, the cast seemed to get along very well.
Yeah.
They seemed like they had a lot of fun on set, and there is a lot of cussing amongst all of them.
Good.
It's rated R.
But yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm a huge Terminator fan. All the movies, I've seen them. I watched the TV series when it was on television with Lena Headey
Sarah
and
Connor
Thomas Dekker.
Chronicles.
Yeah, Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was really good. And only lasted
how long
2
did it
seasons.
last? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it lasted 2 seasons because Fox doesn't like
dumb.
sci-fi.
No, because they stupid. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. No, they just. I think they don't know how to advertise it.
They don't know how to play them either, since they played Firefly out of order. But that's just a different
Yeah.
story altogether. But yeah, Terminator:
But also,
Dark Fate.
that was like before things, where there was like a culture of doing things in order. So I get it, kind of.
You
not
don't
really.
play the episodes out of order. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's not a cultural thing. That's a, hey, these are the episodes, and we've put them in order. Please air them like this. Nah. Like, that's not a culture. That's just being rude.
Fair.
Yeah, but Terminator Dark Fate comes out November 1st of this year, and I'm super excited because it's awesome. There is another movie coming out in a couple of months that
Oh yeah.
Gabby and Dallas are excited
In
about.
like a month, actually, almost.
Yeah.
Month and a half ish. September 6th.
It's coming out.
It is coming out.
It Chapter 2 specifically, I think, is the full
Yes,
title. But,
It
you know,
Chapter
whatever.
2 is coming out.
And I'm excited and
I'm
terrified.
excited to
We're-
watch Gabby watch this
We're
movie.
watching it in the daytime.
I'm watching it at nighttime. I'll take you to see it during
Yes.
the daytime after I'm done.
See, that's
Yes.
good, because then you will have already seen it, so you can really focus on Gabby watching the movie.
Exactly. So I can see Gabby just like curl up into a ball. And
Yeah, if it's
Good
too
plan.
suspenseful, I will get up for bathroom
If
breaks.
it's suspenseful. Like,
If it's
okay.
too suspenseful, because what's that movie? I don't know. Eric and I went to see a movie together for our anniversary. I think it was called
Hellfest.
Hellfest.
Yeah.
And no. I could not handle the suspense. I would get up and leave. And he was like, "Baby, you can't have your third bathroom break." And I'm like, "Watch me, bitch." Like,
I love.
I agreed to watch this because I love you, not because I am enjoying this.
But yeah, it had a panel. I don't think you guys know anything that was said at that panel.
Sure don't.
But they
don't.
released a teaser.
Yes.
Which I watched, and it was awesome.
Which is
Awesome.
dope. Yeah, like I like the first one too. The first trailer that they released
I don't remember.
with the weirdo lady dancing.
Oh,
around
that
the
was
room.
horrifying. I had to stop watching it and finish it in daytime.
that was the trailer that made me almost want to watch the movie, because that trailer was not scary at all.
It was the
It was just
scene.
hilarious, and I was like,
Really? No.
this was supposed to be scary, and it isn't hidden.
You know what it reminded me of is, you know, in Harry Potter where he goes to see the
snake.
snake. Yeah.
Yeah, I get vibes from that too.
That's
honestly-
that's mostly why I was horrified, because I remember reading that book as like a 15 to 16-year-old, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, oh no, and I just got all those vibes.
Honestly, the reason that I found that one scary is because like the woman playing that old lady is like the way she delivers like the creepy parts, like when she's talking and she just stops for like a full 30 seconds and stares at her, like that kind of stuff. Like it's
Unsettling.
it's not like a jump at you. It's
Yeah.
just unsettling. Like something's off
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And like
Your
Bill-
fight or flight comes in a
and
little
like Bill
bit.
Skarsgård is good at that too. Like when he's first talking to Georgie in the first one, and like he just stops,
And his eye will go off and veer off.
and you're like,
Yeah.
what is about to happen? But
I'm
like
afraid.
this trailer was like, yeah, we're just gonna go all out, throw everything at you. Like
Yeah.
there's giant balloons, the door. They brought the scary doors back.
Yeah.
Not scary, very scary, scary.
Yeah.
The scene in the house of mirrors or whatever you call it.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. And I'm getting up, like not up, us.
I mean, there are balloons. You can get up vibes too.
True.
It's a lot of balloons.
I'm getting us vibes from that. Like anything, and I'm never going in a house like that. One of the House of Mirrors ever again. Nah, you can't pay me. No way.
But I'm excited because one of my favorite things about the first It was the actors they got. The kids were amazing.
And the kids are coming back.
Yeah, so it's like now we have the kids and we have established actors who we know are great already, like Jessica Chastain and
James McAvoy and what's his name?
Bill Hader's in it.
Bill Hader.
Yeah, it's like
Isaiah Mustafa.
And Isaiah Mustafa.
like this cast is great, and like the movie's gonna be. Bill Skarsgård also is frighteningly good at this.
Oh yeah, he is.
Like,
but like this isn't like the
frighteningly.
But like that's not like his first like delve into scary things either. He was on Hemlock Grove for like 6 seasons, and that's like basically a horror TV show.
Oh, so he just kind of looks.
This is just his thing. He does it.
He's good at scaring people.
Yeah.
There's a part when you just hear his voiceover talking about like for 27 years, like I missed you and da da da, and like the way he's saying it, I was like, ugh, I don't like that.
No.
But yeah, I'm super hyped to be like kind of scared, but mostly just impressed by how good this movie is.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I watched the first one and I was like terrified. I think it was like a week when I finally gave in and I was like, fine, Eric, we'll watch scary movies. And I watched Get Out and It and like 2 other scary movies that week. And so like compared to like some of the scary movies I watched, it wasn't that bad, but it was still like,
yeah,
I'm afraid.
Because that's one that I feel like I walked out and I was like, I don't think that was, as far as like horror movies go, one of the scarier ones, but it's just really good.
It's just a good movie.
It's just a really good movie. So whether I'm scared or not, I'm going to enjoy it because it's just dope.
Exactly. Which I was cool with. Also, I just like the idea of like people bringing back ensemble casts of like kids, because we had that a lot when we were children. We haven't had that for a long time. And so I dig it because these kids are great actors. And I like the different range that we're getting. We're getting like an action adventure with Stranger Things. We're getting horror with It. And we're also getting like a raunchy comedy with like Good Boys that's coming up. I mean, so it's like all of these are starring groups of children, but they're like all very different. But it's still like the same kind of
I mean, Stranger
thing.
Things still has its horror elements to it too, though.
Yeah, but it feels much more like at least at the very beginning of the season, and then it gets darker as it goes. It's more gradual, but I feel like at the beginning of the season, it's very much like action adventure, let's go, and then like at the end, it's like get me out of here.
Except the first season where a kid goes missing in the first episode.
That's true. That's true. But like when they're trying to like find him, it's like even though they're like I really want to find my friend, it is like very action adventure-y, at least to me. It has like a Goonies vibe to it to me.
I feel it.
Cool. Like Goonies is dark. There's like dead bodies and stuff at the beginning, but like, and there's like they're being chased by murderers, but like it's still fun. Yeah, it's an action adventure
with murder.
All right.
That's enough about the clown.
Before each of these films, do we want me to go through all the information that was?
Yes, please, because
you might as well, because if we're going to be talking about it anyway,
and also for our audience.
All right, guys. So here's where we get into the meat of this podcast.
The meat and potatoes.
Marvel Studios. Stop it. Marvel Studios had a very big panel where they announced all of Phase 4, apparently. Kevin Feige confirmed that it is all of Phase 4. So we're going to go through every single movie that was announced at that panel, and then in the television section, we'll go through the TV shows that they announced. So, cool. Let's get into this.
Let's get it.
The first movie that was announced was Eternals, which is going to be releasing November 8th, 2020.
So it's next year.
The film is directed by Chloe Zhao. The cast consists of a bunch of awesome people. Thena will be played by Angelina Jolie. Icarus is played by Richard Madden. Kingo is played by Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah. Makari is played by Lauren Ridloff. Fastos is played by Brian Tyree Henry.
Yes!
Ajak is played by Salma Hayek.
Yep.
Sprite is played by Leah McHugh. And Gilgamesh is played by Don Lee. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Eternals is a race of immortal aliens sent by the Celestials to protect Earth from things called deviants.
That's a whole lot of fantasy nouns.
Yep.
It is. It is indeed. That's basically what we were provided at the panel and a lot of asking them how they all feel about joining the MCU.
And they're like, obviously, I'm excited. This is about to make me hella money.
Yeah. So,
like,
Lauren Ridloff is the first deaf superhero in the MCU. Salma Hayek will be the first Mexican superhero within the MCU, the film universe.
I have some words.
But also, Salma Hayek's character Ajak is the leader of the Eternals.
Yes.
Gender
bent, right?
It's
originally male.
I don't know. I think Makari and Sprite were the only ones who were gender bent. They were originally males in the comics. And then Phastos is the intellect of the team, which excites me because Brian Tyree Henry is going to be playing the smart one of the group.
Nice.
He's going to be playing the exasperated smart one because he's really good at playing exasperated.
So yeah, that's basically all the information that was provided at that panel. Everybody obviously looks really excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited because Brian Tyree Henry, like, that name excites me.
We love him.
I watch him in anything.
Yep.
And I get to watch him in MCU. In a movie that, honestly, I didn't care about before the cast was announced because it's like, I don't know anything about the Eternals.
Same.
And once you get to the point of, like, cosmic this and cosmic that and, like, the Celestials
Well,
and
see,
the da-da-da-da.
I've been excited for them to go into the more... I mean, they've only done it with Guardians of the Galaxy and, like, the Avengers a little bit. But I've been really looking forward to seeing the Marvel Expanded Universe because it's enormous. There's, like, over 200...
Space-wise?
Yeah, there's, like, over 200 space alien races, I think, and there's like Galactus, and then there's Celestials, and there's Death, and there's all these really cool giant like godlike creatures. There's the Watchers. There's all this stuff that, and like plus the stuff on Earth. So I like the idea of like going into the expanded universe, which we've really only seen with Guardians and Captain Marvel. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I agree. I was also really excited when I heard that they were making an Eternals movie. Once again, I know, like you said, I know nothing.
I don't
about
know
the Eternals,
anything about the Eternals,
but I think that's what excited me most was that I do know nothing about these characters. So the movie is going to be a complete shock to me. I don't know what they're going to give me with this film, but I do like this cast, and I do like the idea of being surprised as to whatever they're making.
Yeah, I'm excited now that I know the cast. It's just like there's some things that at a certain point I was like, yo, Marvel MCU, do whatever you want. If I don't know anything about it, I'm gonna love it. Like Guardians, I didn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was
love
the
that
only
movie.
one that did.
But then like you have stuff like the beginning of Captain Marvel, I was very bored because like
I wasn't,
it's just
because I knew
like-
about that alien race because I've
like,
read Guardians
it's
of the Galaxy.
Like, oh, we gotta go, and the Kree are doing this, and the Stros are doing that, and the freaking we gotta save Gleeglorp and the Floopty Doos on the planet. And it's like, I don't care. Who are these people? Why are we doing this?
And I cared despite. I mean, no, I knew about who they were because I read Guardians.
I also know who the Kree were because
I knew
on
the
Agents
Kree.
of
Like, I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
knew the
all
word.
time.
I knew Kree from the comics. I knew Skrulls from the comics. But it's just like so much of the stuff you're saying is like you haven't made me care yet. You're just throwing words at me.
I think I care because I know nothing about it. And I've been waiting for them to go into space since Thor the Dark World was coming out. And they were like, yeah, we're going to explore space a lot more in this movie. And then that movie came out and disappointed me because we really didn't.
They came to Earth and it was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I thought we were staying in space. I thought Jane was going to be in space. I thought that was going to be the movie. And that's not what the movie was. And I was disappointed. But like, you know, whatever. Like, so this is basically like...
your consolation prize.
Yeah, you guys are going to this is what you guys are doing. This is cool.
I've just been looking forward to it since they brought Guardians in because Guardians is like they're exclusively in space. They really rarely hang out with the Avengers on Earth.
That makes sense. They
There
got
was
the
like,
galaxy.
yeah.
But also, this cast, though.
Yeah.
This cast
Come
is
on
pretty
now, Johnny.
This is an
Like,
aggressive cast.
Salma
But you
Hayek?
know what?
Angelina Jolie, when they said that Angelina Jolie was in talks for an MCU movie, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Ooh. But also, you needed this cast for this movie because nobody knows what the Eternals or like people that are really, really into the expanded MCU know what the Eternals is, but the you know the average Joe doesn't know.
But you can say the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, and the only person in Guardians of the Galaxy that's well known is Zoe Saldana, and she's painted green. Bradley Cooper, who's playing a voice, and Vin Diesel, who is also only doing a voice.
Yeah, I know, but that was one, or what do you call it? How do I explain though?
That was like the official, that was like the original Marvel test. Was like,
No, I know
will people
that
see
was
this movie?
that exactly. But what I'm saying is now they're really like because they're really going into something that like.
I think they're doing it because they
This
can.
is
to be
wild.
honest.
No, they can. But I feel like you do need this cast for this. You do need Salma. You do need...
No, I'm saying I think they got this
Angelina.
cast because they can.
Oh, I mean, that's true, too.
They're
But
like, we can get whoever we want. We're Marvel.
So let's get whoever we want.
Angelina Jolie, we got that.
Yeah, easy.
We got Angelina Jolie money.
That's what we're doing right now. We got that. We can do
Gabby,
this.
Yes.
What was your problem with Salma
Salma
Hayek
Hayek.
playing the first Mexican?
Because she's not playing a Mexican. I think she's playing a space alien.
Oh,
Because that's like saying also Zoe Saldana is Latina,
But
like
she's not Mexican.
No, I know she's Dominican,
I was
but like
very
I feel
specific.
like no, I know. But what I'm saying is like I guess what I'm saying is I want representation.
You want
Like
them
I
to
love
play
that they're
Latinas,
there.
not aliens.
Yeah, I want you to give me a Latina superhero. I don't like an alien's great, and this is really exciting. And I'm glad that they cast people of color because I like diversity in casting. But don't tell me she's a Mexican superhero. She's an alien.
I think what they meant was it's the first Mexican actress to play a superhero.
That's fair. But why didn't you make a big deal with Zoe too then?
because that was back before we were making a big deal about these things.
No, it was 2014. We were still doing
We
it
weren't
then.
making as big a deal.
Like I think after like
Also, they did make a big deal because they were complaining about the fact that once again the dark colored woman was being painted green or a different
I
color.
remember that.
Fair.
I remember that.
That's why it wasn't a big deal because we were too busy complaining about.
Yeah, it was a big deal
That's
on the
fair.
other side.
Fair.
Yes.
On the negative side of the
Fair,
spectrum.
fair.
Salma Hayek will not be painted any other color.
We,
No, she's not.
oh, she's not okay. But what I'm saying is, this is really exciting and great, and it's a check for diversity. But I want
I feel like this whole
a
phase-
Mexican girl or like a Latina, and like I want her to be like I want
You
her
want them
to
to
you know,
use one of their Latino superheroes.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
want
She
I
wants
want
America
her to
Chavez.
like yeah, I do want America
like White
Chavez
Tiger or
or
somebody.
like something. I want her to walk in and be like, "Mommy, are the tacos ready?" in the frijoles instead of like the cosmic celestials made me.
But like,
The planet.
but also,
I'm made up of stardust, as are you.
Aren't
Like-
the Eternals disguised on Earth though? Like,
Okay,
don't they
well,
believe that they
I'm-
are human?
Well,
I did hear that
I'll-
that's not all of them know what they are. So
Okay,
like she might just be a Mexican
Cool.
woman.
So I'm gonna wait
Who's
to
also
see.
an alien
I'm gonna wait
or
to see.
something.
But right now, like what I've read or like what the little itty bitty bit I know is like unless she like I want to see a Latina on screen. And if it's an alien, then it doesn't count, guys. Like, this is great, and I love the diversity, but you're not giving me... It's still not representation. Does that make sense?
I wonder if she'll say
Yeah.
the same thing when the Ghost Rider TV show comes out.
Well, he's
That's one, too, though. Like, he's still
he's
one.
a human.
He is a human.
No, he's a human. That I mean,
Yeah.
that does count, but also, like, I want...
All right.
¿Por qué no los dos?
So speaking of representation in the MCU, we are going to continue on with the next film on the list that was revealed, which was Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is releasing February 12th, 2021. The director is Destin Daniel Cretton, and we were given who is going to be playing, I think it's Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi? It might be Shang-Chi.
I have no idea.
He's
Don't
being
ask
played
me.
by Simu Liu, and he will be joined by Awkwafina in an unknown role. And we are also going to have the appearance of the real Mandarin this time around, and he is being played by Tony Luong.
Freaking miracle.
Boom. For anybody who is not aware, the Ten Rings have been referenced since the beginning of the
Yeah.
MCU, since
OG.
the first Iron Man
Iron
movie.
Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so it's kind of a big
I
deal.
didn't understood that reference. It's not Guardians of the Galaxy, so.
She's all about the space stuff, apparently. She's in the cosmic part of the universe. But yeah, this is really exciting. I'm like super stoked about it. Asian representation, we out here. I think Simu started the Comic-Con when he came out. He started off by speaking in Mandarin, I believe.
Nice.
Cool.
So like just to be like, yeah, what's up? Authentic, I guess.
We out here.
We out here. But yeah, it's exciting. Awkwafina out here getting the bag.
She is
I
making
love
that
her.
bank.
Dude, I want her to get that Oscar nom so bad.
And yeah, I mean, maybe she might.
I want to be excited. Honestly, like superhero fatigue,
It's becoming a thing now.
it doesn't really hit me, but it grazes me. It's
See-
at a point where it's like, all right, guys, I've been watching MCU movies since 2008, and
Since we were in high
I
school.
am a comic book nerd, but even I don't
I'm
know a lot of the
tired.
stuff you guys are talking about now.
But
I
That's
have no
exciting.
idea who
But I'm
Shang-Chi
like-
is, and I'm happy that we're gonna get accurate representation.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're gonna get a Mandarin who's not played by Ben Kingsley or freaking Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
But I don't know these. I don't know. Who
I'm
this is.
excited about this only because we have gotten to the point with superhero movies that like they really can put anything on screen now, which I dig. Because before it was like, what can we do with superhero movies? We can only really do the big famous ones because those are the only ones that'll draw. But like now the MCU has gained and garnered so much confidence that people are like, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna check it out anyway because it's probably gonna be a good movie.
We gonna watch it.
And like I dig it because, you know, at some point people were like, you know, I love Squirrel Girl. I wish there was going to be a Squirrel Girl movie or a TV show or something. And that was never going to happen.
Actually, it was supposed to happen. I don't know what happened with that TV show.
It's like on...
No, it's not.
It's not?
It has not happened yet.
But anyway, they were like proposing it. But what I'm saying...
on a TV show.
She is not on a TV show.
Marvel Rising, is she not?
Oh, no, I meant in the MCU, though. We're not.
Oh, I thought it was just that TV show.
No, they had a live action. They have a live action Squirrel Girl already cast and everything.
What was that? New Avengers or something?
What
was the name of that one?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
They announced and then very quietly stopped talking
like,
about.
You know, if we're getting to the point where like if you like a title that's under the MCU, if you wait long enough right now, you're gonna get to see it on screen.
Definitely.
And so I dig that. I'm only feeling the fatigue right now because I'm like, I don't know what this is, so I'm not excited about it.
Yeah.
And like, I think a lot, and I think it just has to do with like me missing the characters that we've been with for the last 10 years and knowing that most of them are not coming back. Like the only one that's getting another movie is Thor.
That's not true.
Oh, no,
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
No, I know, but I'm talking about the guys that we've been with for 10 years.
Oh, like the OG.
That's also not
Yeah.
true, but we'll get back to that later.
Okay, let's get back to that
I
later.
do like the casting story that Simu gave though during the panel.
Let us know.
So first off, he tweeted this into existence back in 2018 when they announced that they were going to make a Shang-Chi movie. He tweeted, he was like, "Hey Marvel, you should contact me" or something like that. And then the day of Comic-Con, he retweeted it again, and he was like, "Glad you guys got back to me." And but also he mentioned during the panel. So he got cast the Tuesday before Comic-Con, and he did a screen test the Sunday before. So
I heard about that.
Yeah, he got cast literally the week of Comic-Con, and it's just like, all right, cool, you got the role. Fly out to San Diego. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's go. We have to announce you to the world now.
Life comes at you fast.
Life comes at you fast. That's like a big like life-changing thing. That's a moment.
Yeah.
Like that's your whole life. Just like
You're going to be a worldwide, like a what is it, household name now?
yeah, your social media account just like blew up.
You have to take notifications off now.
But yeah, I'm excited, especially because I feel like in the MCU we haven't gotten a lot of martial art heroes. Well, yeah, I mean inclusion too. I'm excited about that especially. We haven't gotten a lot of martial arts heroes except for Iron Fist, and that was bad. So
Well, season
I feel like it's
1
tough
was
because
bad.
like we don't have a lot of like.
And Daredevil.
2 wasn't that much better.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I didn't see it, but it's like because when you think about like the MCU and martial arts, Iron Fist is the one that's like thematically
That's the
martial
guy.
arts based, but like.
And
You
then
look
they
at these
just
people
made-
fight, and it's like
They all use
of you guys know
martial
martial
arts to
arts.
fight, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like
I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, all right, Black
That's
Widow's
what I'm
kind
saying.
of a
Black
martial
Widow,
artist.
Black Panther, Captain, like they all use some form of martial arts when they fight, just for
Yeah.
like fight choreography. But like
But somebody that's gonna like, you know.
someone is gonna make it a big deal, because honestly, Iron Fist should have been a big deal in terms of the martial arts.
It should have.
It's like when
And
you
he-
look at Marvel, Iron Fist is the dude for martial arts, and it just
And
wasn't
yet
that.
Daredevil was doing better martial arts than he was.
Right.
Yep.
But speaking of representation, what I really want them to do, if we're gonna do stuff that like most people don't know, is Agents of Atlas, which is basically Marvel's like team that's entirely Asian superheroes.
Oh yeah. That one has.
And like
Isn't he in that? I think Shang-Chi is
yeah,
part of that
Shang-Chi's
team.
in it. Like, but like I was looking at the team, and they're like, they have Arrow, who's Aero, not like Arrow.
Ah, like okay,
Like the air.
Like air.
Yeah, she's a Chinese heroine with wind-based powers. They have Silk,
So she's
who I've been
Avatar.
waiting to see
Last
because Silk is Cindy Moon.
Yeah.
She's like part of the, not like part of the spider group,
She's-
but she has
she's a
spider
Spidey
powers.
character.
Yeah, and she has like the dopest costume I've
She
seen.
was also in the first Spider-Man movie. She's in Homecoming.
What?
Cindy Moon.
Yeah, they just don't name her by last name, and I don't think they say her
was
name
it?
at all.
Was she on the team?
Basically,
Was she on the?
every teenager who gets screen time in Homecoming
Is like a comic
Is
book
is a
character.
comic book Spider-Man character, except for
Whoa.
maybe 3 of them.
But it's just like this team has so much representation on it. Like honestly, you should start working on the movie just because you would have all the representation. As far as like Chinese people, they have a Filipino hero.
Yeah, wait,
Korean, Japanese. Like I think Miss Marvel was almost on the team at some point.
Nice.
Kamala
South
Khan,
Asia-
not
Kamala Khan,
South
yeah,
Asian.
she's Pakistani.
exactly, not Carol Danvers because she's not Miss Marvel in the MCU. She's Captain.
Yep.
But it's like that would be a movie I want to see. Also, I think the
You got to build up to it. That's the MCU way.
That's
I think
like
Amadeus the Hulk, who's like the really smart Asian kid now. I think he was part of the team at some point. Like, I want to see that movie because even though I don't know all of these characters, it's just a dope sounding movie.
We'd have to build up on Hulk.
They're gonna have to build.
They're gonna build up a lot. But I think like Shang-Chi could be our like gateway into that.
Yeah.
And I really just want to see Silk on screen, even if it's just in like a Spider-Verse sequel, which I know is not what we're talking about.
Not even
you want to see it.
Not even the same company.
Yeah.
Sony, make it happen.
All right, so let's continue on to the next film, which was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I'm excited for this one.
Which is coming out May 7th,
Only because I
2021.
want to see Chiwetel as a bad guy again.
Honestly, like now that I've seen him as Scar, I was like, I'm ready for Mordo to come back and like wreak some havoc.
So I wasn't a big fan of the first Marvel movie. In fact,
Yes.
it might be my least favorite Marvel movie.
I remember you were not a big fan.
I was not a big
Before
fan.
it came out, you weren't a big fan of that movie.
However, I am really excited about this sequel because they announced that Scarlet Witch is going to be in the movie.
True.
Yes.
Co-headlining with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And like,
This about to be wild.
I'm hoping that means that they're not going to nerf Scarlet Witch anymore because she's hanging out with Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is already just a powerful dude.
They're not gonna what?
Nerf her.
So like water her down her powers.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
So like, I hope that that's not what they do. Also, they've mentioned that the movie will directly tie in with her TV series WandaVision.
Interesting.
We'll discuss WandaVision later.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a little trepidatious because Scott Derrickson, who is the director of the film, and he directed the first one as well, said that he is going to be dipping into the horror and gothicness of the comics.
Yeah.
So this will be Marvel's first scary movie.
And that's why I'm excited.
Because Scott Derrickson,
No.
Scott Derrickson got famous based off of his horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do horror movies, but I'm going to watch this movie, and I'll just have to sit there and be scared. But also the confirmation of the multiverse.
Yeah, which I was super let down by in
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. For those of you, you've all seen it. When it turned out multiverse isn't like
It was
the
a lot.
reveal wasn't what we thought it was because it
Yeah.
wasn't real, and I was like, oh, but
now it is.
yeah. But honestly, I guess it's like you can call it a trend at this point.
I'm getting
The trend of
comfortable,
having horror movie directors make superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's like DC has been all over that.
Oh, for sure.
Like Shazam was made by a guy who made Lights Out.
James Wan.
Oh.
James Wan made Aquaman, and you know James Wan is all about the horror movies.
He
And Fast
is?
and Furious.
Tell me what he's done.
James Wan made
The Conjuring
The
movies.
Conjuring. He made Saw. He was like
He's a horror dude.
he's that
Okay,
dude.
There-
He's the reason why there's an Annabelle doll in a bunch of DC movies. Now.
got it.
Yeah, superhero movies were like, yeah, let's just start hiring a bunch of horror movie directors. There was like a trend there for a second.
He made Insidious, The Conjuring, Insidious 2, Conjuring 2,
Wow.
and then blam, Aquaman.
And then I think Scott Derrickson made Sinister.
Yes, he did. And I was like,
Cool.
these dudes are good at making superhero movies. Like, even though I didn't
Yeah.
like Aquaman, James Wan did a good job, like, visually.
Yeah, the
I thought
movie's
it was
fun.
dope. I didn't like the movie for, like, story and character reasons, but it wasn't
Yeah.
James Wan's fault. So I'm like, these guys can make superhero movies. And I love Shazam.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Shazam's
Shazam is great.
amazing.
It's
And
great.
Shazam has those elements of horror in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like randomly somebody get eaten by a gargoyle. And it's like,
People's
wait,
heads
what?
are getting bitten off.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
and I thought that was really well done. For somebody
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't like horror movies, I'm like, wow, that's really impressive that you managed to infuse your horror genre knowledge
Yeah.
and put it into a superhero film. So
Yeah.
that seems to be what Scott Derrickson is planning to do with this Doctor Strange sequel, and that sounds interesting, especially in comparison to nowadays people will tell you Marvel movies are basically all the same
Right.
in tone and genre or whatever. I don't completely agree. I don't completely disagree.
I just wish they could
Yeah.
be a little bit more edgy.
Which is what this sounds like it's trying to be. Also, I love the logo for it.
look pretty
I
dope.
think because like when you watch the first Iron Man movie, there's because Disney didn't own it yet. There was like, there's just a little bit. I don't know how to.
I don't think
explain
it's
it.
because Disney didn't own it yet. I think it's because back in that time it was unique to the industry. Nobody had seen a movie like Iron Man at that point.
No.
Is there like
I'm
the
talking
subject
about-
matter that's in it?
Yeah,
Like
a
the stuff they got away
little
with?
bit of subject matter, and it wasn't even that much, but it was
Yeah,
just like
but it's
just
just like,
enough
it's
to
more
show that
risque.
this is like PG-13.
Some terrorism.
I don't know
in it.
about that because Iron Man 3 deals with his post-traumatic stress disorder, and while that's not as good of a movie, it still goes deep on some dark subject matter.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think
I'm
she's just talking about how dark it is.
No,
just like
I'm talking about like little jokes.
edgier.
It's edgier.
Yeah, it's edgier than most of their
And
stuff.
like when I watch the movies now, I'm like, I can see why this is PG-13, but it just doesn't have enough of like an edge to it that I'm like I mean, some of these movies like they're PG-13 because of the violence, but like some of the I don't know.
And the
It's just,
language, if
Yeah,
you're
the
watching
language.
Guardians. No, Guardians has the language.
But it's still cartoonish, and it's still like you could have your kids watch this and it's fine. But like, so I'm glad that they're going towards the horror route. But these movies still are like at the end of the day, they're still very much family movies, and you can see the tonal shift from like, especially in Phase 1, from like the point that Disney bought them out.
like I would still say that
because
once
I did that
Disney
with my
bought them
mom.
out, the movies got better as a whole, though.
Well, because they have more money. But like, I'm just saying, there's still some tonal shift. I don't know. I watched Phase 1 recently with my mom, and I was like, these movies are different.
They're different, yeah, but Iron Man's and the Avengers are kind of the only really great ones, and the other ones are okay or good.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But Doctor Strange, I'm not even sure if that's going to be a full-on horror movie, though. I feel like he's just going to be...
Because I keep hearing it's like, I've heard it's more MCU's first scary movie, which like at that point, you can say whatever you want and just call it a scary movie. Like you can call Shazam a scary movie if you're talking about certain scenes.
Yeah.
But if you're going to say it's their first horror movie, like from a genre standpoint, I'm like, that's a different statement.
And the thing is, yeah, the Marvel, they haven't said that it's a horror movie. They
Right.
just said they want to
And that's what I want.
They said they want to dip into the horror and the gothic that make Doctor Strange comic books.
Because I want a superhero horror movie because I've been waiting for freaking New Mutants to come out for like 2 years.
You may never
And
get
at
that
this point,
movie.
it might just not happen.
Boy.
It's not gonna
Right?
ever
Boy.
happen.
So
You
I'm
ain't
like,
getting
all
that
right, fine.
Poor Maisie Williams. She was supposed to be in the
It's
mutant
like, you know what?
world
If New Mutants
with-
doesn't happen, at least I get Doctor Strange. And also, when Doctor Strange first came out, I also wasn't a super big fan of the movie, and I didn't really like his character in that movie. But like
I think
every
it
appearance he's
was-
had since,
it's
I've
really
liked him a
good,
lot
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So like, I want a full-on Doctor Strange movie with the Doctor Strange we've gotten in
Now.
Endgame, Infinity War, even in Ragnarok. Like,
Yeah.
that's
he
a better
was
character
great
to me.
in that.
So I'm like, I want a full-on Doctor Strange movie with him, with Chiwetel instead of friggin' Caecilius. Was I think the bad guy in the first one?
Yeah, Caecilius.
Yeah, I hated that dude. And it's just
And
like,
it'll be fun with
Doctor.
Scarlet Witch joining into
yeah,
the
just
magic is
everything
going to be
about
crazy.
it makes it
Oh,
sound like
yeah.
it's going to be better than the first and more interesting.
Yeah.
The first
And
one like was
hopefully we
visually
get-
cool, but like that ages poorly.
And I want to see a Dormammu that's not just a big face, because Dormammu in the comics looks dope. He kind of looks like Ghost Rider.
I don't
To
know
be
if
honest,
they're going to bring Dormammu back.
I don't know if they would, but it's a multiverse. You can do whatever you want.
That's true, you can do it.
In this universe, Dormammu is not a big face in the sky. All right, I think that's all we got. Colin, you got any thoughts on Doctor Strange?
No.
Not really. I don't.
Just calling up thoughts.
I mean, yeah, just not on this.
Not on this.
Moving
Yeah.
on.
Okay, next one.
All right, moving on. The next movie that was announced was Thor: Love and Thunder, which is releasing November 5th, 2021. And
Oh my
it is
God.
the first of the Marvel solo superheroes to get a fourth film.
Oh my god.
Which is crazy to me because
Iron Man could have gotten 5 movies.
It
that's
could
what I
have.
think. Like Thor, like
Of all of them.
I don't believe in speaking from an objective standpoint about movies, but
Yes.
like I feel like Thor has the worst
Original?
to start.
Yes.
His 2 solo movies.
Yep.
I know some people like the first one. I personally don't really care for it.
Well-
His second movie is trash by MCU standards, and it's just like.
It's fair.
By MCU standards.
And
yeah.
it's just like everyone else, like Captain America. I didn't really like his first movie, but his second one.
His second
fire.
one like brought the heat. I was like, this is what I'm here for.
Winter Soldier is that movie.
And it's
Yeah.
like Iron Man 2 wasn't great,
And
but
it
Iron Man 1 is
starts off
amazing.
that way.
So it's like Thor started off with 2 movies that
Wah,
range
wah.
from not bad to trash. And then he got a third one that was completely different.
And
then now he's
amazing.
getting a number 4. And it's like,
He's getting a number 4 because number 3
the third one was basically a reboot.
yeah,
like,
it's like, this is a different person.
and you know what? I dig this
Well,
Thor better.
okay.
It's more fun.
So
it is
let's-
a lot more fun.
Let's get into the information that was given to us during the con,
All
other
right.
than the title and the release date. So Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are obviously returning to the film.
Yes.
It was announced a few days before Comic-Con that Taika Waititi is returning
Yes.
to direct the film.
yes.
But it was also announced that Natalie Portman is returning for the first time since The Dark,
Dark
World, to play Jane Foster, and Jane Foster will become Thor.
Which explains why she was in. Was she in Endgame?
She is in Endgame, but it's reused footage.
No,
from-
I know, but what I'm saying is like that explains why they even bothered to do that.
I mean, I think they were bothered.
yeah, for like the
regardless.
time heist purposes or whatever.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but like what I'm saying is like
No, I feel like they would have bothered regardless. Now,
I don't think so.
It was also
I mean, if they didn't have to make new footage, then yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't. They have
the only thing
footage,
that they had
throw
to
it
do
in.
was give her a voiceover. All she did was come in and do a voiceover.
No, I know, but like what I'm saying is I feel like they put her in there to give us like hope that she's coming back because, like, why would they do? Why else would they do? But that's not my point.
Because
the point is, I'm excited.
Well, you have to bring her back because she's the other soul. She has the stone in her. She has to be back.
True. She had the.
She is a necessity. Yeah.
Ether.
Fine.
She had the ether. But yeah, so she's coming back as Jane Foster, and she will be Thor.
Yes.
So that's really exciting. Also, it was stated that it seems that Taika Waititi is the only person who has read the script so far. Tessa Thompson thinks that Valkyrie's first act as the king of Asgard is to look for a queen. But also she is reinvesting in the Asgardian people in Asgard because Thor rejected it so badly in the 5-year gap between Infinity War and Endgame.
What a mess.
And Taika said that he was excited to pull from the Mighty Thor comics by Jason Aaron, which is where Lady Thor comes from. And he said that he read it during Ragnarok while they were filming Ragnarok.
Cool.
So that's where the whole idea came from.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm really excited because I am one of the few people who actually does like the first 2 Thor movies. I'm not going to say that they're like amazing.
I dig the first one because I really like Kenneth Branagh.
I dig them, and I really liked Natalie. I have been a fan of Natalie Portman since I was a child, since I was probably 10.
I mean, we all have.
Not all of us have been.
Really?
No.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
not a Star Wars fan.
Oh, I guess not. I have because I dug her as Amidala.
Yeah,
as a
exactly.
child.
I was a big fan of Fabian.
And also,
Amidala.
I watched Leon the Professional when I was way too young to have seen that
Clearly.
movie.
And I also really liked Jane Foster. But Jane Foster did not get enough to do, which is one of the reasons why Natalie Portman left. And
I know. She's
apparently
like,
they were like, hey,
"Bye."
you want to be Thor? And she's like, sure, let's do it.
She's like, I will come back. Yes, if I'm Thor. Yes,
It was
only within those parameters.
only
yes.
if I get the hammer.
Yes.
It was also announced that she has been on board with this film for 6 months now.
Oh, nice.
They first talked to her about it 6 months ago, and they said it took one meeting with Taika, and she was like,
Well, because
I'm in.
Taika's like an angel and a sweet, wonderful man.
He does seem like a very wonderful
I don't know him
person.
personally, but he just seems like he's so
he
great.
comes across as a great guy.
Yeah, like
Met him once, actually.
you did.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was nice. He was a nice dude.
What? Tell me about it.
That's the story. I met him once.
In an elevator.
Where?
In an elevator at my
Where-
job.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was it during the Was
No,
he
it
like
was-
screening
It
something?
was for it was
He
a
was
more
there
recent
for a,
movie.
he was
Oh.
there for a screening is the point.
He was there for a screening.
Yeah, he was
got it.
in
Got
one
it.
of the
Got
movies.
it.
Yeah, so I'm excited for Thor. Thor Love and Thunder. I really like that title,
I'm
man.
digging it, and apparently,
I love the title logo too.
yes, it looks amazing. It, you know what it reminds me of? Led Zeppelin shirts, like
Yeah,
the logo.
It's very like that.
Like 70s, like rock band, big hair, not big hair, but like, 70s rock band logo, especially since there's probably going to prominently feature Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin again.
Wouldn't be
so
surprised.
I dig it. It fits.
I guess the only thing that gives me pause about Taika is that I feel like he goes a certain way, which works. Like his comedy is hilarious.
Yes.
But there's situations where I feel like if we went a more serious route, the movie might mean more to me. Like, because we talked about off mic Endgame when they go back in time and Thor talks to his mom.
The thing is, I feel like Taika would do a much better job with Thor's mental state than what Endgame did. Because it's not like he wrote Endgame.
Right, so this wasn't one of the situation where like he did Thor scenes or something like that.
No.
Because I know
No.
they're
No.
like
No,
they
no,
were
no.
like, oh, you can go do these movies.
No, not at all.
No.
He had
But
nothing.
also
It's not
Taika
like James
doesn't
Gunn.
like because Ragnarok is a situation that should have been a lot more serious than it was. Like Ragnarok is a
Yes.
comedy. And that
Yeah.
movie is about the decimation of his planet.
I
and
think
people.
that's why you needed it to be a little bit of a comedy, though.
They wanted,
because-
I think Taika was going for a counterpuncture sort of thing.
Yeah. We're like,
But
but,
it's
he
also
does that
like-
a lot with his like that's the basis of his comedy.
Yeah,
it's like
but it's
something
just like certain
horrible is
things-
happening, and
There's
it's
certain things
hilarious.
that I don't want to be hilarious. Like in the
Fair.
comics, Jane Foster has cancer.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't want Taika making cancer jokes in this movie.
Oh, that's fair.
And it's like you could omit that.
yeah,
You could just not make.
See,
that
I
a
feel
plot
like
point.
he wouldn't though because
I hope he wouldn't.
because even,
I don't know,
But he's also making a movie about Hitler.
yeah, that's what
right
I'm
now.
saying. I was
Like,
about to bring
he's
that up.
releasing a movie about a comedy about
and
Hitler being
he's
a kid's imaginary
playing
friend.
Hitler.
yeah.
And like I saw the trailer, I'm like, Taika, no.
Like no.
I feel like he did such a good job with Valkyrie in Ragnarok because yes, Valkyrie is a funny character,
But
he
she's
never
like
makes
an
jokes
alcoholic, and she's
Yeah,
having a bad time. And
she's
you
an
can see
alcoholic,
that.
and she's an alcoholic because she suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder.
yeah.
And he never once makes like she maybe she makes things funny because she's drunk and disorderly.
Yeah.
But you never make a joke about the
what
fact
happened to
that
her.
she's an alcoholic or the fact that this is why she's an alcoholic.
I feel like there's a line between
And he toes it or he crosses it a little bit.
he straight up jumps in like over the line back and forth because like
okay.
he doesn't make jokes about the situation that made her an alcoholic, but he definitely makes jokes about her alcoholism. Like it is played for a joke in a lot of that movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, bottom line, just don't make cancer jokes. Like just please don't make jokes about Jane Foster having cancer.
That's if Jane Foster has cancer.
Yeah, we don't
maybe
know.
she won't. Hopefully
We don't know if she's
either
gonna
she
have
won't or
cancer.
they'll handle it better. But you know, he's swinging Hitler
you know
around in
what
Disney
we'll have to
trailers,
do
so, like, we'll see what
is
happens.
somehow get to an early screening of it, and then you can tell Disney directly, like, yeah, no, please don't make these cancers. They're not funny. Reshoot it, Disney. Reshoot it, like
I think,
we did with Deadpool.
The movie itself, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be hilarious.
I think it's going to be great. I trust
I'm sure it'll be great.
Taika with Thor.
After Thor Ragnarok, I'm definitely like, I'm
Yeah, he made the best Thor movie, and
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
I mean, that wouldn't be hard, but like,
No, but like
Fair,
it's
but, like,
he did an amazing job, and also
Oh,
he
yeah.
like the soundtrack was freaking amazing.
it's also
for
in
it.
I think it's in my top 10 Marvel movies.
Yeah,
I'd have to check
it's
it,
up
but I
there
think it's in
for
my
me.
top 10 for the MCU.
Did you write down that all the like fuss they're making about Valkyrie being the first LGBT?
Oh yeah, that's right. She's,
I will celebrate when I see
I
it.
mentioned her first act is to find a queen.
I will
so-
celebrate it when I see it.
I'm at the point.
I want it to be super gay in your face, or I might not.
Like Beauty and the Beast or Power Rangers.
No.
no, I don't want them to do like
I don't-
Endgame.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing.
Thank you.
They can't do what they did with Endgame in a situation with Valkyrie because she's at this
Also,
point
I don't
one
think
of the
Tessa
protagonists of the movie.
Thompson would let them.
Oh yeah, Tessa Thompson at this
She'd
point.
be like,
Tessa
bitch,
Thompson,
man up.
Since Ragnarok, Tessa Thompson has been like, I'm sorry, excuse me, my character is definitely part of the LGBTQ
She's gay.
community.
She's gay,
bi as
gay,
fuck.
gayety,
You gonna
gay,
give
gay,
me what I
gay.
want. Like Tessa ships her characters with all the women as long as you get
And you
the
know
picture.
what? I'm down. And you know what? I want Captain Marvel to be her queen. Let's be honest.
I don't know.
Liz,
a lot of people
be
are
honest.
jumping onto the Jane Foster being her queen.
Ooh, I'm down for that too. Because then Thor stays with the Asgardians.
I don't want that. But anyway, I'm down for Jane and Valkyrie. I'm down for
Look,
Valkyrie just
I'm
having a
down
relationship.
for them being cool, like, because they've been toeing the line with this gay, like, just let her be gay and out and super gay. Like,
yeah, stop talking
don't-
about it. Just do it.
Yeah. Or like don't screw me over like they did with Grindelwald and Dumbledore, okay? Just
God.
be out there.
Technically, they haven't screwed you over yet. There's still 3 more films in
You're
that
gonna say
franchise
that.
for them to fuck it up.
Fine. Yes, for them to fuck it
They have
up.
a lot of movies to do whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah, no, that's just, we're like 22, 23. By the time we get there, it'll be like 25 movies in. Just do it. And especially because they deleted the scenes that implied or like made it obvious that she was
Which
bi.
I don't.
They cut it out of
like.
the Ragnarok. So just
Grow a pair of balls, MCU. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys. So our next movie that Marvel announced, it was kind of the last movie that was officially announced, is Black Widow, which is the first one up. It's releasing May 1st, 2020. It is currently filming. Scarlett Johansson will be returning as Natasha Romanoff / the Black Widow, of course. It's
Woo.
directed by Kate Shortland. The movie also stars David Harbour as Alexei.
Yes, Hopper.
Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova.
Yep.
Rachel Weisz as Melina.
Woo.
And O.T. Fagbenle as Mason.
And I don't know who that is.
So basically, all right, I guess I'm going to give like character breakdowns too before we start discussing this. Alexei has a complicated history with Natasha, and he has complicated feelings towards Captain America because in the comic books, Alexei is the Red Guardian, and the Red Guardian is the Russian version of Captain America.
Of course.
And that's played by David Harbour.
Yeah, that's David Harbour. Mason is an old contact of Natasha's, and they have a professional relationship, but OT teases that Mason is into Natasha, as he should be.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Rachel Weisz said that Melina has gone through the Red Room several times, and she's described as one tough cookie. And Yelena Belova, who is the second most anticipated character for me in this movie, she was described as a sister figure to Natasha by Florence. In the comic books, Yelena is an enemy of Natasha's who is obsessed with outdoing her predecessor.
Yeah.
And
Makes
Natasha sees
sense.
her as kind of a younger sister figure in the sense that she tries to kind of save her from herself and her own naivete.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what we know about the Black Widow movie, as well as it was said that they were going to be exploring Natasha as a full person and what makes her who she is. And they revealed footage of Natasha and Yelena fighting one another.
I'm just gonna say, it feels a little bit late for that.
Yes,
A little late.
right?
You had a long time that you could have been doing this, and you didn't do it.
I
Just
agree.
saying.
For real.
But I'm still
Like, are you saying she wasn't a full person before? Whose fault is that?
yours.
Yours, MCU. It's your fault.
But yeah, so the footage that they released though,
What
which-
happens when there's too many dudes in a room working? Just pointing that out.
Listen. So they revealed footage of Natasha and Yelena fighting, and then there's like a montage or whatever that ends with the reveal that Taskmaster is going to be the villain of this movie.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me who that is?
Taskmaster is this creepy looking dude who has a shield and like a skull mask. I've always liked Taskmaster, one, because he looks dope, but two, because he has what's called he has photographic reflexes.
Yeah, he's like muscle memory,
So basically anything you do, he can do it. If he watches you fight, he can fight exactly like you.
which is why I think that's a great opponent for Natasha to have to go up against.
That's
Yeah.
one of my ideal superpowers.
And honestly, like, he's
stealing
one-
other people's superpowers.
He's one of the characters that I've wanted to see in the MCU for a while. And just because, like, the fight scenes will be dope. Because,
Yep.
like, any fight, like, as long as you get someone who, like, can choreograph a really dope fight.
Oh, yeah.
Him
like,
against Captain America would have been
yeah,
awesome.
that would have been dope. Him against anybody. Like, I want to see him
Yeah.
fight Daredevil. I want to see him
Oh
fight
yeah. Ooh,
everyone.
Daredevil.
I'm excited to see him fight Black Widow though, because like
That
I
about
haven't
to be
seen
cool.
haven't gotten to see her fight in a while because they didn't give her a fight scene in Endgame.
Just let it go. Breathe in, breathe out. To me. Breathe in, breathe out.
I can't
breathe
let
in,
it go. I will
breathe
never
out.
let it go. I'm gonna die mad.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I mean, technically,
That's not a fight scene.
she had to
That's
fight
not-
Clint to see who would
That's
yeet
not
themselves off a
fight
cliff.
scene. Yeet themselves off.
Literally, we know that Natasha is good with fighting people and shooting guns, and you didn't give me any of that in any proper capacity. So no,
You know
not
why?
okay
Because
with
it was a bunch of dudes in the room writing her.
Oh
That's
my
why.
god.
Before
Anyway,
Before we leave the Taskmaster
There weren't enough
thing,
women.
I also want to see Taskmaster because he has a contentious relationship with Deadpool in the comics.
oh god.
Because they both are very good at killing people and being mercenaries, but Deadpool is just super annoying. And also canonically, Deadpool is one of the people Taskmaster can't mimic because Deadpool's mind doesn't work a normal way. So like,
Like,
the way
Deadpool
Deadpool
doesn't
moves,
even know what
yeah,
he's
Deadpool
doing.
doesn't even know like
That's amazing.
enough of his own moves
yeah.
that Taskmaster can mimic it.
Also, one of
because he's so
Dallas's
erratic and
favorite
crazy.
things is also Deadpool.
Yes,
like,
you'll
his
learn that as we
T-shirts
talk
are
more.
Deadpool, Black Panther, and The Lion King, and that's about it. That's all he wears.
And Spider-Man.
And and Spider-Man.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so let's get Taskmaster in MCU, and then when Deadpool comes over, I need to see them fight, please.
I'm also really excited about people who have been describing the footage from this film are saying that the fight scenes are super grounded, like the best fight scenes we've probably seen since The Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And probably like better than that.
Does that include
Good.
Daredevil?
I don't think we're
Just-
including Daredevil.
okay,
It's, just,
as far as
it's
movies.
a comparison to the movies.
Gotcha,
and
gotcha.
amongst
Yeah.
the movies, The Winter Soldier had the most grounded fight scenes.
That's
out of-
Yeah,
dope.
those are
Out of all
pretty
of them.
awesome.
So they're saying that the fight scenes are pretty hardcore, which is awesome for me because literally Black Widow is my favorite superhero and has been since Iron Man 2 came out. I started reading comic books because of Black Widow.
Nice.
So I know quite a bit about her relationship with Yelena. And I've been saying for years, if they ever made a Black Widow movie, I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I'm still in disbelief. I kind of...
For
probably-
real. I was
probably-
like, are they trying to punk us?
I probably won't believe
Is
it's...
this a giant practical joke?
Yeah, I probably won't believe it's actually happening until I'm sitting in the theater next year.
Until you're like physically
Yeah,
watching
I'm
it.
physically just watching it. But I'm such a big fan of the Natasha Yelena relationship. And when I was reading the Comic-Con tweets and they were like, they just showed footage of Natasha and Yelena fighting, I was like, oh my God, my baby assassins are fighting in a clip. That's the thing that
Yes.
we're going to get. I'm going to get to see Natasha fight Yelena. These are like literally
Yeah.
like two of my top 3 favorite assassins in all of media.
Nice.
And I'm-
To me,
Yeah.
how long is that list?
Top 3.
Top 3. I've got...
Let me see.
Like, how
Here.
many assassin characters do you pay
So watch
attention
Please-
to?
Please-
That
Please remember that I read a comic book that is about nothing but assassins. So,
Yeah, she's about the assassin life.
My top 3.
Yeah.
But also-
if I had to say,
Florence Pugh.
Who
is
you
playing
love.
Yelena Belova. And I'm so happy because
who is Florence Pugh?
she is the
just saying, you
actress-
say you love her, but you won't see her new movie.
Sure won't.
It's a little rude.
She's
She's in-
the actress
Just saying.
from Fighting With My Family
Oh,
and Midsummer.
yes,
And I
you
saw her in
love
Fighting
her.
With My Family, and I was like, she's great, and I want to support her, and I want to see all her stuff. And then she was
And
in
yet-
Midsummer, and I was
and
like,
it's like, guess
never
I'm not
mind.
gonna watch the
You're like, I
Horcrux
can't-
movie.
You're me. I'm like, I love you and all your work. I'm not watching your horror movies.
yeah, so I
No.
can't do it. And
I
like,
refuse.
she does
Same,
any
same.
other horror movie not directed by Ari Aster, I'm with it.
Yep, because Ari Aster is a
Death
demon.
Eater.
You also
Yeah,
don't want.
he's
You
a
also
Death
don't
Eater.
want to see Little Women either. So like,
I'm down
That's
for
two
that
movies.
movie.
Yeah, she's got, but like, she's in Black Widow, so I'll see that one.
She is in Black Widow.
about to be good.
Playing a Black Widow.
Here's the thing. After Endgame, my excitement for a Black Widow movie died.
Declined.
I was just like, what's even the point? Why are we doing this? I know you guys are making one, but what's even the point? Why are we doing this? And then a month or so later, photos from set started popping up, and I saw them, and immediately I was just like, I'm so excited again. Oh my God.
You were like, I forgive you. I'm seeing you. Give me the movie.
I don't forgive you. I will never forgive you.
Timmy does not forgive.
I will not forgive. But like, thank you for finally giving me a Black Widow movie.
Yeah, it's super dumb that they waited this long. I don't understand.
They should have done it back when...
Honestly, it just comes down to there's too many dudes in that area.
Their best option would have been to let Sharon Carter be in the Winter Soldier like what she was supposed to be. Let her take... She was supposed to be what Natasha's role was. And then just make a Natasha movie that opens around the same time. And then just keep making... You guys should have just made a Natasha trilogy. I should have had a Black Widow trilogy by now.
Yeah.
Or I should be getting a third movie.
I would have thought the MCU would have wanted to have the title of the first female superhero headline.
Go to their first female superhero
because they started 10 years before the DCEU, and the DCEU still beat them to that. Come on.
And also Natasha,
get it together.
Natasha is the third Avenger that we're ever introduced to in the MCU.
Yeah.
She
should have had her movie. She should have had her movie after Iron Man retired.
Iron Man 2 come out before Captain America?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
It was Iron Man, Incredible Hulk,
and then
Iron Man 2.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she's the third Avenger we're ever introduced to.
Crazy.
Yeah, she was at the beginning.
She's been in the MCU longer than Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo,
I'm pretty
Chris
sure
Hemsworth, she's Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, she's part of the reason probably that Chris Evans also joined. I know Robert Downey Jr. made some phone calls, but she's known him longer.
Literally, she's the second cast member of the.
She's the second
OG6.
oldest. Yeah, she's the second oldest. Robert Downey Jr. and then Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow.
But fine, it's fine. We're getting one now.
I'm bitter too.
I'm gonna be bitter until I die. And it's fine. I'm
but
finally
also,
getting
you
it.
would have thought that they would have wanted that title, and they didn't. And then
they didn't.
They waited. They slept on it so long.
So many wasted opportunities.
DCU took it. Really.
But let's be honest.
They slept on it.
They don't care. MCU.
They don't care.
How much is that title helping the DCEU right now versus
Hella.
MCU?
But what I'm saying is, you would think
it does for the
that
DC
they would
fans.
want it.
But I mean, as far as the MCU, or as far as Marvel Studios as a company, if we could take being where Marvel Studios is versus being where DC is.
Oh no,
I know, but
you
what
can keep the title. I'm going to keep the money in this Comic-Con panel.
What I'm saying is, you would think they would have also wanted that title on top of all the other stuff.
Take everything.
They would definitely. I can see why they would want it.
And also, it wouldn't have been hard. It wouldn't have been hard.
No, it definitely wouldn't have been hard.
It's just, the problem is, there wasn't enough women in that room advocating for it.
The number of fans who have been clamoring for a Black Widow movie since Iron Man 2 is ridiculous. And the fact that they waited 10 years to do it.
And also after having killed her off in the first place. We know this isn't really going anywhere. I mean, they could bring her back, la la la.
It's a comic book movie.
Yeah, it's a comic book movie. What I'm saying is, though, you slept on it, Marvel.
So, yeah, you slept on it. I want to say, before we finish this, or at least this particular portion of it, I was thinking about it today, and Marvel, if you actually want me to forgive you.
Hire her for this movie.
No, What you should do, you should end the movie with a question as to whether or not Natasha Romanoff is actually dead.
I feel like that's probably what they're going to do.
Because then that
would be
it's so
smart.
in character for Natasha to know her own secrets. And it's there's literally a comic book that starts with her saying the rumors of my death have been very exaggerated. Mm-hmm. That's literally the beginning of one of her comics. So just give me that.
The beginning of Easy A.
Yeah, give me that and just I'll forgive you. Maybe.
I believe it.
So yeah, I'm super excited. Black Widow
But I'm excited for it too.
Black Widow is the most excited I am for any of these movies because I've waited 10 years.
ScarJo should have been having her own trilogy.
ScarJo
Let's be honest.
Scarlett
Playing
Johansson
second fiddle to everybody.
Also, somebody pointed out that her character is often a mirror towards all the other characters in the MCU that she has to support.
They play off of her well, but
so,
also
but
why are women
her
always
character itself
supporting?
is you bounce yourself off of her to see who you really are.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out that this movie sounds like they're taking that mirror aspect and making it a thematic thing, whereas Yelena mirrors all of her moves. Taskmaster is a character who mirrors all of your moves.
Yeah.
The idea of
so
Natasha
she's going to see herself.
Yeah, it's the idea of Natasha
folks.
being a mirror and then other people mirroring
That's
off of her.
That's a great concept.
Which is interesting, and I hope that that's what they actually do. So, The next thing we're going to talk about, which also mega excited me out of surprise, because I knew Black Widow was coming.
Right.
I knew that they were going to announce that. But out of pure surprise, and I talked about it for like ever after it happened, was that they announced that they are making Blade, and it's going to star Mahershala Ali.
Yes.
That is
I was
dope.
worried that they weren't going to cast him because he was already on one of their TV shows. Because I was like, if I was to pick Blade, I would probably pick Mahershala.
Yeah, he's on Luke Cage, but like, I guess that
Two-time
doesn't matter.
Academy Award winning.
I mean, Alfre Woodard is also
Badass.
in Luke Cage, but she's also
No, I
in Civil
know.
War. So, but
yeah,
she was
but
in a
her
small
part was
role,
super
not as
Yeah,
small.
she's not-
Yeah, she's not
Blade.
like a main character.
There's no other information about that movie except for the fact that Mahershala Ali is playing Blade, and we
That's
have no-
all you need to know. Like, what else do you
Someone
need?
said it's coming out in Phase 5.
No,
He announced.
that.
Well,
He said that's
if
phase
Kevin
4.
Feige said that what was on the slate was all of Phase 4, I don't think Blade is
Oh,
technically on
Blade
that
is
slate.
not on the.
Oh.
It's
yeah,
like
Blade is not on the.
its
slate.
own separate thing.
Right,
Got
because
it.
like they announced Blade, but they also announced Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so I guess
Yeah.
we'll just get into that too. Feige also confirmed the fact that we are going. He was like, we didn't get to all this stuff, but yeah, he basically confirmed the fact that we're getting Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Captain America 2, the Fantastic Four, and the Mutants. He didn't
Captain
say.
And
America?
Captain Marvel too.
Yeah, I said-
Captain Marvel.
Oh, did I say
Sorry.
Captain America?
Yeah, I was
Captain
like, we
Marvel
already
too.
commented
My
on that.
bad. I'm sorry. I do that a lot, and I hate it. But yeah, he said mutants. He did not say X-Men,
Yeah.
but he said mutants.
It's
Which
X-Men.
probably means that. See, here's the thing. I kind of hope that what they're going to do is they're going to sprinkle like mutants around the MCU before they make an actual X-Men film, because
Interesting.
let X-Men die for a little while. Let it stay.
I mean,
I feel like by the
they're
time
gonna
all this
give it a
stuff comes
good
out,
3 to
it'll
4
be gone
years.
for a while.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, yeah, just let it lie. Let it be buried for a while. Let people, get past the fact that the last X-Men is over, that era is over, and now we're about to head into a new one. But give it a break first. Which is why I'm so happy that
how
he's in
many years
Fantastic
did we
Four.
have between Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man
Yeah,
Homecoming?
Not very
So
long.
I'm
But even then,
down
like,
for
even
that.
less than like Civil War, because Civil War came out in 2016. I don't know when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. But it was like
2013?
yeah, like a few years earlier.
Yeah, so I'm down
didn't
for
waste
another
any
X-Men
time.
movie. I'm sorry,
but I don't.
I
see, I don't
like-
want them to do that again, though. Like,
but I
give it
feel
some
like
time.
it's in good hands. Like, and also I want them to get X-Men out as quickly as possible because I really want Avengers versus X-Men.
We're not gonna get that until after Phase 5 anyway.
No, I
though.
know, but like I've been, dude, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Like, and most of like the main players in Avengers are like out, so I'm like, what are we gonna do? But I really want to see Avengers versus X-Men. So I'm
Same.
like, the sooner they roll it out, the sooner I get Avengers versus X-Men.
I want to see it too, but at the same time, like, nah, please just let it lie a little bit. Let audiences get used to the fact that,
It's gone,
and also, like,
but I feel
not
like
to confuse
it's
people.
Gone. People are smart.
Some people are smart.
Most people, I think.
Most people think that the other X-Men were part of the MCU. Most people think that all Marvel movies are the MCU. That's not
Oh,
a thing.
honey bunny.
Whenever I hear somebody say people are smart, it reminds me of Men in Black when Will Smith talks to Tommy Lee Jones. He's like, people can handle it. People are smart. And he says, a person is smart.
People
are
are
dumb,
dumb.
panicky animals. I was like, man.
Fair.
Not exactly
Wow.
wrong.
Fair, but I feel like I just want. How do I explain this? I trust
You just
that
want
Marvel's
X-Men, I
gonna
get it.
make. Here's the thing: is I think they're gonna make a real X-Men movie.
See, and I
because
agree-
they've
I agree
shown
with
that
you.
they can make team films.
I agree with you. I don't want them to wait because I don't think they can do it. I want them to wait
Yeah,
so
just
that
give us some time.
audiences
People
have
forget.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And like it'll mean that much more if we have to wait for it.
Yeah.
Because if 2 years from now an X-Men movie comes out, it's like we just had one.
We just
this
have
is
one.
cool.
Especially
I'm
because
glad,
New
but, like-
Mutants is still supposedly coming out next year.
right. So like, who knows? Maybe
So,
that's what he
like-
was talking about. Maybe New Mutants is his Phase 5 movie.
we'll see.
He's like, we're retooling it so that it
Yeah.
works.
We're changing New Mutants into
It's
an MCU
no
movie.
longer a horror.
Now
movie.
it's funny.
Yeah, no.
right? Maisie Williams.
But yeah, I'm
from 5 years ago.
I've been saying since Fox got taken by Disney, bought by Disney.
Taken.
Yeah, taken. I've
Absorbed
I've been saying that I hope that
into
they do
the ether.
Fantastic Four before they do X-Men. And it sounds
And
like they're
it's
going to
looked
do
like they're gonna
Fantastic
do it
Four
first.
first. And I'm happy about that because, no offense to the X-Men, but the Fantastic Four deserve their due before the X-Men do.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, X-Men, they've got some wins. Fantastic Four needs a win. Like
Like
they
the
have
first,
consistent
I have,
losses.
To be fair,
Here's
I
the
like
thing
the
is, I
first
have
two.
fond memories of those
Yeah, I have
two.
the fond memories of the first two, but the most
But I was
recent
also
one was
12
I.
years old. So my taste, I tried to watch one of those recently and I was like, oh, this is this is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm here because I support Chris Evans, but frankly, I get why he didn't want to return in a superhero role. I get why he wasn't super eager.
Yeah. So let.
But those movies also did wildly amazing.
Well, yeah,
Like,
that's why we have the comic book universe that we have now.
Yep.
Yeah, people were like, "Oh my god, superheroes on screen!" Like,
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
big deal.
Yep,
It
yep, yep.
didn't need to be amazing. It just
It
had
just
to be
needed to be put on screen.
comic books.
Also, they were like super cartoony,
Yeah.
and I was like, no wonder.
So
like,
let Marvel do their thing and make a Fantastic Four film first, and then we can go to the X-Men. But
I'm with it.
I want my first family of superheroes first.
please do X-Men as soon as possible.
All right, so
I
that's
really dig the X-Men. They're like my favorites.
So that's-
or one of my favorites.
that's that on the movies of Comic-Con. Our next episode will be about our reactions to all the TV announcements.
Yeah.
So
I will-
stay tuned for that.
As always, I mean, this is the second time we've done it, but from going forward, as always, shout out to Crown Digital, specifically Brandon and Io, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, which you're probably listening on. Because without them, we'd just be on YouTube. And y'all ain't trying to watch
Podcast
all
on
this
YouTube.
on YouTube, because once you exit out, it stops playing on your phone. It's a whole thing. You can find us on Twitter at y'all_different. You can find us on Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Creative Differences. If you're the person who types out Facebook links entirely, type out facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. That's where you can find us. You can find me on Twitter at A King Named Simba.
You can find me, Gabby, on Instagram at Stegosoria.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
Colin, I thought you were gone. To me.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. That's spelled DREEMI.
All right. Stay tuned. Not really stay tuned, but, find the other episode. We're going to talk about the TV shows next.
It's been different.
It's been different.